苹果手机又破纪录了，兄弟们！新款的 iPhone 15刚发布了2天，仅京东直营店的预售就已经超过了300万台了。由于华为新款的强势登场，全网的数码博主都认为这代 iPhone 可能要凉凉，包括我在内。但是销量真的是啪啪打脸了。但是话说回来 ，iPhone 15的美版可能真的会要凉凉了。
With the Apple iPhone 15's pre-sales, leaps and bounds ahead has recently become a trending term online. This phrase is coined by Huawei's executive director Chengdong, who frequently used it during product launches and describes the gap between Huawei's products and its competitors, emphasizing the rapid growth of Chinese national brands. As such, leaps and bounds ahead has become deeply associated with the Chinese brand Huawei. This time, as Apple started its pre-orders, Huawei aimed to surpass its competitor and top China's Weibo hot search with the title Leaps and Bounds Ahead. The slogan Leaps and Bounds Ahead also takes on a patriotic sentiment. Netizens have been posting various videos to express their support for national brands and patriotic sentiments. A man was filmed cheering at the entrance of Huawei's global flagship store in Shanghai. One netizen's friend, still under the influence of anesthesia after a gastroscopy, was murmuring leaps and bounds ahead in his sleep. China. It's not until you To support Huawei's phones, numerous digital influencers have been filming videos praising the product. Many believe that Apple's new product this year lacks innovation and made no progress compared to Huawei's newly released Mate 60 series, predicting that Apple's pre-sales in China would be dismal. However, on the iPhone 15's pre-launch on September 15th, the anticipated slump did not happen. Instead, there was such a rush that the official website crashed and the pre-sales quantities were instantly sold out.
小粉红被打脸，来得实在太快啊！不是华为遥遥领先吗？不是苹果15没有新意吗？要凉凉了吗？不是说好了支持国货吗？怎么苹果预售直接就把官网抢崩溃了？怎么上线1秒就被抢光了？
凌乱了。昨天晚上8点，苹果官网输出 iPhone 系列1分钟被抢光，苹果官网崩溃，某平台半个小时补货8次。我们嘴上、键盘上喊着华为的伟大，反正我是凌乱了，家人们，这件事你们怎么看
？Prominent tech bloggers who specialize in the mobile business were among those clamoring for Apple phones, but found it near impossible to secure one.
Man trying to snag that Apple product this week? Impossible. Sold out in seconds on Taobao. And their servers are still crashing. It's been ages since the release, and I can't get one. Me and my buddy tried for over 10 minutes. He got one set to ship on October 10th, and that was 10 minutes ago. Now, who knows when it'll ship? Some say it's easy to get, but I call BS. Can't grab one at all. Hold on, is it available again? Nope, out of stock. The loading icon's still spinning. Honestly, this is embarrassing. Last night, 8 of us tried to get the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Not a single one of us succeeded. The kicker? I'm a tech blogger. I even wrote a guide on how to quickly purchase the iPhone 15, but total fail. Now, I'm making $0. Weren't people roasting it online? Why is everyone buying now? Started at 8 p.m., checked J.com. Instantly gone, couldn't even access Tmall. Worst of all, even Apple's own store crashed. Refreshed a million times, still nothing. Can you believe it? By the time I could place an order, shipping was almost at the end of October. I then tried Tmall and managed to order, but the shipping time blew my mind, says within 39 days.
The disparity between online sentiment and offline reality was even more pronounced in physical stores. While Apple's store brimmed with customers eager to get their hands on the latest iPhone, Huawei stores reportedly experienced far less footfall.
不都说华为遥遥领先吗？看人家苹果。买不买这人气儿？刚看完苹果，再看看华为。华为几乎是没有人吧？
兄弟们，我现在在上海黄浦区。
Guys, I'm right now at the Apple Specialty Store on Nanjing East Road in Huangpu District, Shanghai. Let's see if the iPhone 15 is available.
哎呀！
Has the iPhone 15 been released? Not yet, right? So it's still the iPhone 14, huh?
还是苹果14啊？
There's so many people. The second floor is for after-sales service. This is an official store. And in these official stores, you don't need an invoice for warranty services. I'm secretly letting you guys know.
发票的啊，偷偷告诉你们。
This recent turn of events has left many wondering about the genuine loyalties of consumers and the power of marketing and brand loyalty in influencing purchase decisions.
苹果的官网崩了。
Apple's site crashed. On the 15th, 8 p.m. sharp, the iPhone 15 series went up for online pre-order. There were so many detractors online, many labeling Apple as lackluster and singing praises of Huawei's clear lead. Yet, when the time came, they overwhelmed Apple's site. It's curious, on one hand, we're urged to support local, to choose Huawei. On the other, buying an Apple phone is detached from patriotism. Both phones are commodities, and everyone has the right to choose. While the authenticity of the claims that the iPhone 15 pre-orders surpassed 1 million is uncertain, one thing is clear, there's a dangerous game of lip service being played. Many are quick to play the patriotic card but vote with their wallets. These individuals who buy iPhones as casually as one would purchase a $79 eyebrow pencil. What role do they play in society? If they're all about self-interest, how long can we genuinely lead?
却又时常口是心非。
In the latest tech development, some Huawei smartphone users are expressing dissatisfaction with their Huawei Mate 60 devices, openly questioning whether Huawei really is far ahead.
我去，这就是你们所谓的遥遥领先。
Is this what you call being far ahead? What's so ahead about it? This won't even open, and when it does, it crashes. I had to delete the app, and all my chat history is gone. And look at this, just after a few days of purchase, it's overheating so much that the protective film has peeled off twice already. Too disappointing.
损失惨重。
Notably, the domestically produced Chinese chip has received praise and recognition from state broadcaster CCTV. This chip not only overcomes the US chip blockade, but is also set to diminish the value of ASML's lithography machines, all while leading the tech waves for the next 2 decades. This positioned China at the forefront of an era akin to the rise of new energy vehicles. However, a slip-up with this very chip on a Huawei device has become a topic of discussion.
116的版本，好吧，这个版本，然后我们给你看一下啊，核心数12个，2加4加6就可以上。这里面这个是一个样型啊，来看到吗？8核心，4加4，这刚刚多少？刚刚是2加4加6啊，这个更新系统居然把核心还更新多了。
Netizens are sarcastically saying they've never seen software instigate hardware upgrades, playfully acknowledging Huawei's far ahead motto. Some netizens believe the patriotism around Huawei products is unnecessary. While they acknowledge Apple's superior user experience and technology, they say elevating the choice between Huawei and Apple to a matter of patriotism is seen as detrimental to the national brand's image. Further denting this goodwill is Huawei's hunger marketing strategy, which targets consumers' emotions. One blogger wanting to support domestic products by buying Huawei was ironically driven to purchase an iPhone due to Huawei's sales tactics.
你不中用啊！本想支持一把遥遥领先。
I wanted to support and buy from those far aheads, but Huawei's approach made me opt for the Apple Pro Max. Brands like Tesla and Apple let you place orders online. Even if scalpers got them first, I can still order later. But with Huawei's X5, I genuinely wanted to support a domestic product this time, but they didn't give me a chance. I couldn't even secure a Mate 60 Pro recently. I thought about purchasing from the secondary market, but they quoted a price of 28,000 yuan over 3,800 USD, which later crashed to between 16,000 to 18,000 yuan. When I visited a Huawei store in person, they told me to order online. With their hunger marketing, I questioned, are they really considering us, the users?
我抢 Mate 60 Pro 加也没有抢到啊。
Noteworthy is the pride among Chinese netizens as Huawei unveils its national defense smartphone, which they believe has broken through the US blockade. Ren Zhengfei, the founder of Huawei, recently acknowledged in a conversation with international students that he is an Apple fan and expressed admiration, stating, "Apple is our teacher." On September 20th, mainland Chinese media reported on Ren Zhengfei's discussion with members of the ICPC, International Collegiate Programming Contest, Foundation, coaches, and gold medal winning students. In the summary, Ren spoke about US sanctions. The sanctions from the US certainly put pressure on us, but that pressure also drives us. Before the sanctions, our base platform was built in the US. After the sanctions, we were forced to switch to another platform, which was challenging. When asked by a student from Iceland if he was an Apple fan, Ren responded, "My daughter studies in the US, and without Apple, it would be very inconvenient. We shouldn't be xenophobic. We often explore why Apple's products are good and recognize the gap between us and Apple. Having a teacher like Apple provides opportunities to learn and compare. If this makes me an Apple fan, then so be it." Some Chinese netizens believe that Ren Zhengfei's respect for Apple is a sign of rationality and magnanimity. Ling Xiuming, an adjunct lecturer in the Department of Business Administration at Soochow University in Taiwan, commented during an interview with Radio Free Asia, "Recently, there's been a lot of hype in China about Huawei's new smartphone breaking through the US blockade. If Ren and his family are avid Apple users, how do his supporters feel? Therefore, he needs to justify himself." Lin added, in order to avoid angering patriotic Huawei fans, Ren attributed his use of Apple to his daughter studying in the US, which supposedly makes Apple more convenient. But in reality, Android's open system is more versatile. US schools don't dictate which brand of phone students should use. Lin mentioned that while Ren was speaking with students from various countries, a student from Iceland dared to ask if he was an Apple enthusiast. In contrast, Chinese students might not have had the courage to pose such a question. It's known that many high-ranking Chinese officials and celebrities use Apple products. It's also been revealed that some anti-American messages praising China on social media platforms were sent from Apple devices. The fact that Ren's daughter used foreign products and brands isn't surprising. Qiu Yifang, an analyst at the Taiwan Institute of Economic Research, said in another Radio Free Asia interview that Ren clearly recognizes the undeniable technological prowess of the US. After Huawei launched its new smartphone, it triggered discussions in the US about expanding tech controls. To some extent, Ren might be trying to ease tensions, hoping for a more peaceful progression in the tech competition. Cho pointed out that the Chinese market has always held Apple in high regard. However, Chinese officials are informally urging public servants and state-owned enterprises not to use Apple products. With Huawei still under UN sanctions, Ren's magnanimous stance could be an attempt to alleviate the potential for expanded sanctions.